Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I know a lot of you are going to be really excited for today's video. We are talking all about spring summer 2025 fashion trends, and it took me a while to film this video because I've been in such a funk with the weather we've been having. I know everyone is complaining about winter, it's been dragging on for so long, but I feel like finally I'm actually excited for spring and summer fashion. We are seeing it online and in stores, and I've already bought a few pieces for my spring wardrobe, so I am really excited for it now. So this is a great time to share with you what we will be seeing, what are the trendy kind of styles and pieces, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you those trends that I think are practical and wearable and that you'll actually be able to easily incorporate into your wardrobe. They aren't really way out, they aren't like a trend that you look at 5 years from now and see, oh, that was so 2025. I feel like the trends are really timeless, if you will, but there are also a few impractical trends that we saw on the runways, like moto. We saw a lot of tutus in skirts. We also saw a lot of dresses over pants, which it's not that way out, but I just think it's not something you will be seeing in the streets and day to day. And then we've also been seeing these weird pants which cover one leg and then the other leg is bare, so those are really impractical. And then we also saw some trends that I think is worth mentioning. It's just not my style. We are seeing a lot of athleisure, which always to me looks really great on other people, but it just is very casual for my style. So I typically don't dab with anything that is athleisure, but I know if you have like more of a casual lifestyle, then that's great. And then we are also seeing a lot of utility jackets, just utility inspired pieces, which again I think it really looks great. It adds some edge to an outfit. It's not necessarily my style, but if it's your style, then I think it's definitely worth having a look at. So onto the trends that I feel are worth looking at. Starting strong with nautical or stripes. Now I feel like this is definitely nothing groundbreaking. Every spring and summer I feel like we see a lot of stripes. It's something that we do associate with summer, warmer weather, holidays, but when it comes to doing stripes, I would avoid going for something that feels stereotypical nautical. So I would avoid, for instance, a blazer that is really cut in a very fitted silhouette with gold buttons. The same, I would avoid going for a striped sweater with gold buttons. I feel like the gold buttons definitely just make it very obviously nautical. So instead I would stick to the stripes, which is really eye-catching. It always makes a statement, but I would go for more modern and almost simple silhouettes. So going for an oversized striped t-shirt or a cardigan. I also saw a beautiful t-shirt dress from COS that has the stripes, but it has a really interesting shape with some wider sleeves. So very modern silhouette, and then with the stripes. And don't be afraid to just keep it simple because the stripes are quite busy in and of it themselves. So I would stick to kind of simple designs and silhouettes and let the stripes do the talking. But there's no denying that stripes will be everywhere, and it's just really easy to style as well. Then we have feminine flair. Now we saw quite a lot of different trends that are more feminine. For instance, boho and pleated skirts and soft draping like chiffons and silks, but I wanted to kind of combine it into one category. We are seeing a lot more feminine pieces this year, and it's great if you have more of a feminine style. I typically don't. I love a bit more structure, more of a masculine edge, but I feel like this year, like, everyone has really done a great job at combining that feminine touch with something that feels very modern and structured, almost architectural. So when it comes to this category, like something that is a bit more feminine, I would avoid, again, anything that leans too much towards the feminine side. So I would avoid going for softer flowy fabrics combined with floral. I think that is just really expected. The same goes for boho. We all know what like a boho dress looks like, but I feel like that is really expected. Same with a lady jacket, for instance. I would avoid something that is quite fitted, and then a tweed fabric with gold buttons, because that just feels like too much in the one direction. Instead, I would go for pieces that have that feminine inspired touch, but also almost like a harder edge to them. So I have this brown dress from Zara, which it feels very feminine with a flowy soft draping of the skirt, but then you have the structured bodice that feels very strong and modern. The same with a denim shirt that has a bow tie. We have that feminine detail with the bow tie, but then the fabric is more, almost more harder and more masculine with the denim. The same with pleated skirts. Instead of going for a pleated skirt or dress that has ruffles on top, I would just keep it really simple. So almost like a pared back version of something more feminine. But yes, I will definitely be dipping my toe into this, because I think with more masculine pieces that I already own in my wardrobe, there's such a nice juxtaposition, and I think it will just create lots of interesting outfits. Then we saw a lot of prints, and two prints predominantly took over the runways, and that is plaid and polka dot. Now, I'm not really a big print person, but I feel like there is definitely a way to do these prints that is wearable, that doesn't look like a costume or like a specific era from the past. So when it comes to plaids, I would avoid going for really big plaid patterns. I think that feels really grunge, which again, nothing wrong with it if that's your style, but I would just pare it back and go for a smaller plaid print, almost something that you don't see from afar. It's only when you come up close that you'll be able to see that print. The same goes for polka dot. I've always actually loved polka dot, but again, I avoid anything that has too big of a print. That to me just feels very much 60s inspired. So I would go for polka dots that are very fine. I think that is where the timelessness lies, and you still have that interest of the pattern, but it is very fine, and again, almost invisible when you're from afar. So again, just pare it back and keep it more on the minimal side. Then probably my favorite trend, or one of my favorite trends, is intentional minimalism. So over the last, I want to say 4 years really, we've been seeing a lot of like very minimalistic designs, very basic silhouettes, that quiet luxury, and I still love it. I still think there is something to be said for something that is very simple but done really, really well. But speaking from experience, I think if you have too much of these pieces in your wardrobe, you can feel a bit bored with it. So the idea behind intentional minimalism is what I spoke about in one of my previous videos, and that is elevated basics. Basics with a twist. So taking a simple piece, adding an unexpected detail to it to create something that is still minimal but a bit more unexpected. The blouse I'm wearing is a perfect example. We have a bit of volume, we have the tie waist, and we are seeing a lot of these more elevated basics. So think about a top with some pleating detail in the waist to create a beautiful silhouette. We are also seeing that pleating detail in dresses, and then of course more structural like elevated pieces with shoulder pads and asymmetric design in the shoulders. So all of those details are worth looking at whenever you're purchasing something for your wardrobe. So it doesn't feel too way out, but just a design element that makes it stand out and makes it feel a bit more interesting. Then another trend that was quite unexpected, but looking at how much I wear mine during spring and summer, it's kind of obvious, and that is a white tank. We saw them over all of the runways, and not just in a casual way that I think a lot of us tend to style our tank tops. We saw them in very dressy outfits as well, so more of a juxtaposition between the casual and the more dressy. And I kid you not, it's one of my most worn pieces during spring and summer. I actually have to replace mine every year, and I've now come to the realization that I need 2 or 3 in my wardrobe because I just wear them so often. My favorites are from Massimo Dutti, Mango, and from COS. So white tank tops are definitely going to be really big for spring and summer. And also we have been seeing a lot of the halter style that comes up quite high. But what we will be seeing now is what they call a U-shape tank top. So something that is cut just slightly lower, and we'll see that in tank tops as well as in dresses. So yes, if you don't already have a tank top or a white tank top, this is the season to get a few. Then another trend that we've been seeing for quite a while now, and I just don't think it will ever go away, and that is masculine edge. So something that I have a big love for because I love structure in an outfit. I love structure and tailoring in a piece. So we will be seeing a lot of that. So if you still love your oversized blazers and your more structured pieces, then don't put them away because they will still be big. But we are seeing masculine touches in pieces that feel a bit more unexpected. For instance, this top that I saw on Mango, so it's a halter top, but then it has more of a structured and a masculine design to it. Of course, blazers aren't going anywhere, boxy oversized blazers, but we also are seeing a lot of the cinched waist blazers again. So that is almost a combination between masculine and feminine, where the strong shoulders give that kind of square boxy look and the cinched waist leans itself more to a feminine shape. And then we are seeing a lot of tailored trousers again, so just anything that feels a bit more masculine, shoulder pads, boxy silhouette structure. So yes, really still very excited for this one. And then the 2 colors that caught my eye that are really big for spring and summer is very light pink and then orangey red. So this is my first addition of color to my spring wardrobe this year, this beautiful orangey red color. It just sparks so much joy in me. I think it's such a great color for spring and summer. It feels like a happy color. So we will be seeing a lot of this color, and I think I would stick to clothing pieces and just go for one clothing piece, keep everything else very neutral. Or if you want a dress in this color, just pare back the accessories and go for something that is neutral. But I just love this color. And then with the petal pink, I absolutely love this color. It's just not a good color on my skin tone, so I would probably go maybe for a pair of light pink tailored trousers and then pair it just with a white top or blouse, something, or maybe gray as well, something that suits my skin tone a lot better. But it's such a beautiful color. It's so subtle, again leaning into that more feminine style. So we are going to see a lot of this petal pink, and I think that is a really fun color. I think the petal pink with this orangey red is also a really great combination if you love like color blocking and you're a bit more daring with your color. So that is all of the trends for spring summer 2025. Let me know which one is your favorite. I always love to hear what you guys think and what you're loving. And if you haven't already, please remember to like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And also go and give me a follow over on Instagram and on LTK for more style content. And that is it for today's video. I will chat again in the next one. Bye everyone. Mwah.